lesson to politicians of any stripe leading any protest against any other party of any kind. If you're going to accuse them of being on vacation instead of doing the people's work, it is essential for you yourself not to be caught at the same time on vacation playing at least 2 golf courses. Our third story, also standing around on the House floor in the dark with the lights off, might blow back at you. Since last Friday, official summer recess for the House, a handful of Republicans have remained, vowing to stay through the 25th, the start of the Democratic convention, unless Speaker Nancy Pelosi reconvenes the House for a vote on expanding offshore drilling. House Republican leader John Boehner, in a memo this weekend, rallied Republican members to skip their vacations for protest, and then Tuesday released a statement saying Congress does not deserve a break. This is Boehner's golf score from Ohio's Wetherington Country Club this weekend, where he shot an 85. On Tuesday, according to the Washington Post, Boehner was still in Ohio at the Muirfield Village Golf Club. We don't know his score there. And while John McCain has spent the week echoing GOP criticism of the congressional break, as of tomorrow it will be 4 months since Mr. McCain showed up for his job, having missed 103 consecutive votes, including several that, unlike the offshore drilling experts say, actually will bring down the price of oil. Let's turn now to MSNBC political analyst Eugene Robinson, also, of course, columnist and associate editor of the Washington Post. Much thanks for your time tonight, Gene.
Good to be here, Keith.
First the theater and then the substance. Boehner and McCain demanding Congress take action while they're out of town. Did they skip out on a couple of sessions of Political Imagery 101?
Well, you know, you're just being old-fashioned there, Keith. You know, listen, in fairness to Congressman Boehner, though, I think Muirfield Village is a pretty tough course. I mean, a punishing course. So it's not as if he was having fun out there, you know.
We first had on this the gas tax holiday. Now we have the lights-off protest. Which, by the way, leads to the idea, you know, they're the Republicans standing in the dark again. But do many of these gimmicks recoil? Do they make people wonder if the guys who are doing this and, you know, so theatrically are just shilling for big oil?
Well, you know, I think there is a real danger here. I mean, you know, John McCain, you know, when he wanted to campaign for, you know, in favor of drilling, wanted to appear on an offshore oil platform. I mean, it's one thing to associate yourself with easing the energy woes of the American people, but there is a danger of appearing to shill for big oil, or indeed shilling for big oil. But, you know, in another, so I was talking to a Democratic operative who suggested that Republicans might be happy as long as people are talking about this theater, absurd or not, rather than talking about health care or Iraq or any of the, you know, the economy, any of the issues on which the Republican Party clearly is taking what the public believes are the wrong positions.
There was another issue here that the Republicans actually brought in Newt Gingrich yesterday on some sort of old-timers day at Congress to threaten a possible government shutdown if Nancy Pelosi does not let them vote on the offshore drilling. But part one here, does the Bush government actually do anything more that could be shut down or we need to worry about shutting down? And part two, what happened to the GOP the last time that Newt Gingrich came in and shut down the government?
Well, in answer to A, I think the president has pretty much taken care of shutting down the government. He's had, you know, 7 years to do it, and he's done a pretty good job of it. In terms of B, that didn't work out so well for them. So I think they ought to go back and look at the videotape of that game. It wasn't one of old-timer Newt's better outings. So I think they might want to review the film.
Hey, this just in, Newt Gingrich has been traded to the New York Jets, Gene. How about that? He's going to be Brett Favre's backup there. Sorry. Crude oil has been dropping for a month now, and the GOP actually credited themselves and their protest for that fact, rather than, you know, the Democratic crackdown on the speculators or this the economists' idea that, hey, guess what? This is an illustration that consumers will eventually stop buying anything that costs too much. And whatever the actual answer is, are they still helping the drilling cause by saying this when all the evidence suggests it's some other reason, or are they underscoring the holes in drilling by bringing attention to it?
Well, I think nobody pays attention to that. I mean, it's clear nobody's going to believe that their protest brought down oil prices. I think if you're going to believe anybody, believe the numbers. I mean, U.S. demand is down, and if you believe that the price is set at the margins, then that had the impact or whatever. But I don't think anybody is going to take that seriously.
Eugene Robinson of the Washington Post and MSNBC, when we're fortunate enough to have him. Thank you, Gene. Good night.
Great to be here. Good night, Keith.